Bilton Grange is a co-ed day and boarding school for about 340 pupils from reception to year 8. We sit in 90 acres of glorious Warwickshire countryside and we have a warm, welcoming and down-to-earth approach. Our culture is based on acknowledgement of the individual where every child feels empowered to be themselves. And our educational provision opens doors to high-level academic, sporting, creative and performing opportunities. I would say space, time and community, all of which are inextricably linked. Visitors to our glorious 90-acre site in Warwickshire will appreciate the warm and welcoming atmosphere, the down-to-earth yet purposeful attitude and the sense of humour and fun, which is important for a school to thrive. And all of those things come because the children have the freedom and the space to roam and explore. And by exploring the grounds, what they're really doing is exploring themselves, their imaginations and personalities and developing character. Bilton Grange pupils have time to socialise and have fun and flourish academically, socially and emotionally. And I think because there are a good number of boarders and staff living on site, there is a genuine sense of community that makes everyone feel safe and secure. And I suppose all of this adds up to a sense of freedom and liberation, allowing each child to grow into him or herself at his or her own pace. Boarding is an important feature of Bilton Grange life. We have lots of day children in the school, but we retain the heartbeat of a boarding school to the benefit of all. We have over 60 boarders in the house, mainly full and weekly, but we offer more flexible boarding options too, for those who may want to trial boarding in preparation for senior school life. We have boys and girls who board and they have their own separate defined areas, but they often come together to form one larger boarding community. There are house parents, matrons and other staff who are always around looking after the welfare of the pupils all of the time. Indeed, there is always someone there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our boarders come from all parts. We have those who live locally, those who live within an hour, and that includes quite a few from London, and we have international boarders too. This is such an advantage for developing a global perspective and making lifelong friends. And that, to me, is what boarding is all about, making friends. We strive for a homely, family atmosphere. We place an emphasis on community and cultural understanding. We celebrate diversity and we encourage the boarders to be who they want to be. A typical day for them starts at around 7 o'clock in the morning when they wake up, prepare themselves, catch up on the news before breakfast, and then head into school at 8 o'clock to link up with everyone else, the day children. They should not really need to go back to the boarding house during the day, although those whose parents are in a different time zone and who need to ring in the morning do have the opportunity to do that. So they do all of their lessons, including sport and co-curricular activities during the day, and then they enjoy a meal at around 6 o'clock. There may be some day children there too, because after that there are some clubs, often extra sports or music practices perhaps. And then at around 7:20 in the evening they will have access to the snack room, and then they'll have an evening of relaxation where they can play with each other, chat, chill out, contact families and so on. Ultimately, we want the children to be social and active, but we know they need their downtime too, and we also know the importance of communication with parents. Our communication is a priority. Everyone in years 4 to 8 attend school, although for years 4 and 5 there is a little more flexibility in attendance. For years 6, 7 and 8 it is academically focused with lessons until lunchtime, while years 4 and 5 tackle our big Saturday initiative, which offers exciting activities and learning enrichment opportunities. Things like junior engineering or programming skills, cooking, extra hockey and sports and swimming practices, language and culture development and so on. All year 7 and 8 pupils have matches or games in the afternoon until around 4 o'clock. Year 6 pupils might have a match too, otherwise they, along with the year 4 and 5 pupils, can go home at lunchtime. We also squeeze a chapel service into the morning too and involve the parents with various activities, including a nice coffee and chat with me every Saturday, so that it is very much a community morning. Bilton Grange is in a fantastic location. We sit in 90 acres, so we have countryside all around us, yet we are only 3 miles from Rugby, which is a regular train service into Euston Station in London in about 45 minutes. So we have a lot of parents who commute to London, and we also have boarders who live in London. And for them, we can provide an escorted service on the train. We also have good road links all around us with easy access to the M1 and the M40. Not really, but it is better to start young. If it is not nursery or reception in which a pupil starts, then the key year groups tend to be when the key differentiators kick in. Interest in sport or music or performing arts perhaps. So typically year 3 or year 4 might see some extra interest, or year 7. With our strong links to Rugby School, we have seen a surge of interest in year 6 and year 7 lately. We receive interest from parents who look to relocate, so we do have children who join into different year groups if we have space, and we are used to accommodating new pupils with a strong buddy system. I'd say it's important to come and visit the school first and then register afterwards. And in general, it is better to register early because when we have waiting lists, we'll look at the date of registration as a starting point. Parents should register well in advance for the Nest, that's our preschool class, or reception in particular, due to high demand and likely waiting lists. Well, we are largely non-selective, but we have to know that the child will be the right fit for the school, and the children themselves will need to feel that this is the right school for them. So we would normally expect a taster day in school for all children in year 1 and above. And we do cognitive ability testing for year 4 and above candidates to assess the level and what groups a child might go into. We would also typically look at reports from previous schools or nurseries or childminders as part of the process of ensuring that we can meet the needs of every child. We are a preparatory school, and so preparing for the right future school is very important to us. Different senior schools have different requirements and expectations, and with our experience of preparation to a number of schools, we are unfazed by what is needed. We have a close relationship with Rugby School, of course, and while it is no guarantee of a place there, a strong cohort of Bilton Grange pupils leave here and move on there, about 50% or so. They move there, importantly, because it is the right school for them. But we also send pupils regularly to Oundle, Uppingham, Repton, Eton, Harrow, Shrewsbury, Cheltenham Ladies College, Bloxham, and many others. And we are here, as part of our job, to give advice to parents about what is the right fit for them. Well, do your research initially and establish the area that you want to be in. Look at the locality. See what is on offer in the area. Make connections yourself. Check out commuting times and so on, because it helps in the contemplation of such a move. Sometimes the area comes first and then you look at the school afterwards, but sometimes you'll be choosing the area because of the schools. Either way, be thorough. Look at the school website, call the admissions office and get a feel for the personality of the school. Seek out verbal testaments from parents who have children there. And most importantly, visit the school with your child and with an open mind. Only a visit can give you a sense of the culture and the vibrancy. Only a visit can really give you a sense of what the children are like, what the relationships between the children and staff are like, how it is presented, and so on. If parents can choose their senses into this, then I'm fairly certain the right country prep school will reveal itself, and that it will become the best decision that those parents have ever made.